Means that do it. Burger
Welcome to Air Checks. We will be presenting a full episodes of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Dirk Gentley's Holistic Detective Agency for the next 6 episodes as a tribute to Douglas Adams. The beginning starts at episode 21, R1 on September 16, 2023. This is the last 2 episodes of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. In the 3rd hour, we will have Dirk Gentley's Holistic Detective Agency. In the meantime, here's the second to the last episode from the Quintessential Phase of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, entitled the 25th.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Quintessential Phase.
Lamuella is listed briefly in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as a planet partly bisected by a plural zone near a hyperspace jump point on the eastern rim of the galaxy. It is, by and large, unknown, which is a pity, for upon Lamuella, every aspect of making the humble sandwich has been developed beyond the dreams of even the picnic food epicures on Thermos Magna 6. Choosing the right bread, for instance. The sandwich maker in Lamuella's only significant settlement spends many months in daily consultation and experiment with Grop the baker, and between them they have created a loaf of exactly a consistency dense enough to slice thinly and neatly, while still being light, moist, and having that fine nuttiness which best enhances the roasted, sliced flesh of a perfectly normal beast. The proper tools, of course, are crucial, and many are the days that the sandwich maker will spend silhouetted against the glow of Strinder the toolmaker's forge, making slow, sweeping movements through the air, trying one knife after another. First, there is the knife for the slicing of the bread, a firm, authoritative blade which imposes a clear and defining will on a loaf. Then there is the butter-spreading knife, a whippy little number, but still with a firm backbone to it. King amongst the knives, of course, is the carving knife. This is the blade that not merely imposes its will on the medium through which it moves, it must work with it, be guided by the grain of the meat. The sandwich maker will flip each slice with a smooth flick of the wrist onto the bread, trim it with 4 deft strokes, and then add a few slices of cucumber and fladdish and a touch of splagberry sauce before applying the topmost crowning layer of bread. There are those in the village who are happy chopping wood, those who are content carrying mortar. An old thrashbog may be head man, soothsayer, and all-round busybody, but to be the sandwich maker is heaven itself. Or so the sandwich maker thinks, as he sings, as he works.
Sandwich maker! Sandwich maker!
Ah, Trimble, is this the last of the perfectly normal beast?
Yes, sandwich maker. But next Froon Day they will migrate again at 4:30 in the afternoon. Old Thrashbog predicts it. He says this herd will yield maybe 7 dozen carcasses. That should tide us over till the return migration.
Let's hope Thrashbog has examined his pick-a-bird entrails correctly.
Thrashbog is never wrong. Not about perfectly normal beasts.
Surprising, considering that while the rest of the village risked life and limb on the actual hunt, he makes up stories about his bravery and the safety of his heart.
Sandwich maker, the almighty Bob has sent another chariot. Not a fiery one such as that which bore you unto us, but a smooth one with gold forester stripes. It sailed in the clearing an hour ago. Old Thrashbog It's propitiating it.
Good grief. Show me.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Almighty Bob, thou hast vouchsafed us the word of Lamuella for our dwelling place, the migrations of the perfectly normal beasts for our food, the drop-ins of the picker birds to fertilise our crops, and many moons ago by fiery chariot you sent unto us your only begotten sandwich maker to make our sandwiches, since which time we have known on what side our bread is buttered.
Old Freshbone.
What?
I'm sorry to interrupt, Nat, but why did Almighty Bob send his only begotten sandwich maker in a burny, fiery chariot rather than perhaps in one that might have landed quietly? I mean, like this one.
Well, Graf's got a point there.
Bob
What's
moves
the
in
sign?
mysterious ways.
After all, if Almighty Bob loves his people, why would he send a chariot that burned down half the forest, filling it with ghosts?
And injuring the sandwich maker quite badly, so that he limps heavily these days.
Harker than to string
The logic of the tool maker is not gainsaid.
Shush! You unbelievers. Who are you to argue with the ineffable will of Bob?
What does ineffable mean?
Look it up!
Lend us your dictionary, then.
It is forbidden!
Why?
It is not for you to question the will of Almighty Bob. And if you don't have faith, you'll burn. So let me get on with my propitiating before the ghosts emerge from the forest and frighten away the perfectly normal beasts.
Well. Oh, a spaceship.
Now, right now with their words of wisdom and partake of fine
The fiery chariot sandwich maker! Now back off and let me propitiate Almighty Bob, who knowest all things. What the sort was that?
Not only the airlock opening. Oh, my Bob.
Hello, Arthur.
Trillium.
We thought we'd arrived at some Iron Age backwater. We nearly left again. Lucky you appeared.
We?
Yeah. Random.
What now?
Come and meet your father.
Under the towel! Quick!
Immediately, Mr. Prefect.
Thanks, Colin.
Hold the corners tightly. We are 300 feet above ground.
Sheet! Try not to lose altitude.
It gives me validation beyond measure to burn out my anti-gravity circuits in your service.
Did you see them? Vogons! Vogons really have taken over the Hitchhiker's Guide building.
Yes, the wonderful new management. The old management was also fabulous, of course, though I'm not sure if I thought so at the time.
Before I reprogrammed you to be happy instead of officious.
How true! How wonderfully true! How bubblingly, frothingly, burstingly true! And joy, more of them below, setting up rocket launchers.
Suffering Zarquan! Drop me over the nearest ledge!
I burst fluffy pink bunny love in fulfilling your wish.
Burst later! For now, drop me off!
Consider it an ecstasy-inducing joy.
Oh, Dingo's kidneys! Oh, blacked out windows. What floor is this?
13. Research and development. Couldn't you just hug it?
R&D used to be on the 5th floor.
Incoming! It's paradise up here.
We need to be inside, not stuck out here like targets. Break the glass, Colin.
The windows can't be broken. The glass was reinforced after the Frogstar attack.
What Frogstar attack?
The one that led the engineers to upgrade the windows.
But we broke out of Van Haal's window.
That is because the engineers were not expecting an impact from inside the building.
Right. So logically, what would the engineers not be expecting someone sitting on the ledge outside a window to do? They wouldn't be expecting me to be here in the first place. When people design something to be foolproof, they usually underestimate the ingenuity of complete fools.
What bliss to be shot at while stranded on a 13th floor ledge with a complete fool.
What's that?
A rocket-propelled grenade. Scrumptious.
No. Through the glass, something moved. A bird? There's something in there.
The guide.
What guide?
The guide version 2. Pro. It's quite wonderful and very frightening. Not that I do fear being so happy.
Shut up, Colin. Brace me while I find the catch.
Nice sandwich shop. Random, do come inside.
No! I'm happy here, Trillian. They like me. I make sandwiches for them, and, well, that's it, really. Please make yourself comfortable. Can I get you anything? A sandwich? Try one, they're good.
Well, it is good. What's the filling?
Oh, yes, that's perfectly normal beast.
Is what?
Perfectly normal beast. A bit like a buffalo. Large, charging sort of animal.
You talk as if there was something odd about it.
Nothing. It's perfectly normal.
Oh, I see.
It's just a bit odd where it comes from and goes to.
Where does it come from and where does it go to?
They suddenly appear a point slightly to the east of the Hondo Mountains. Thousands of them. They stampede across the Great Hondo Plains and disappear again. Well, that's it, really.
Sorry, I don't really quite...
Well, in the spring, they do it again, only the other way round.
But why are they called perfectly normal beasts?
Old Thrashbarg calls them that. He says they come from where they come from and they go to where they go to. And that it's Bob's will, and so it must be perfectly normal.
Oh. Who's Bob?
Don't ask. Random, would you like a perfectly normal beast sandwich?
I'm a vegetarian.
Ah. You look well, Trillian.
I am well. I'm very well. Look, I expect you're wondering how I found you.
Yes, I was wondering exactly that. How did you find me?
Well, as you may know, I work for one of the big sub-ether broadcasting networks.
Oh, yes, you've done very well. That's terrific. Must be a lot of fun, all that rushing around.
Oh, exhausting.
I expect it must be, yes.
Well, we have access to virtually every kind of information. I found your name on the passenger list of the ship that crashed.
You mean they knew about the crash? They knew I'd survived?
Oh, yes.
But nobody's ever been to look or search or rescue. There's been absolutely nothing.
Well, there wouldn't be. It's an insurance thing. They bury it. They pretend it never happened. You know they've reintroduced the death penalty for insurance company directors?
Really? For what offence?
What do you mean, offence?
Oh, I see.
Anyway, it's time for you to take responsibility, Arthur. For your daughter.
But, daughter? But we never, well, I wanted to, but surely Zaphod would have...
Not the same species, Arthur. When I decided I wanted a child, they ran all sorts of genetic tests on me and could only find one match anywhere.
Oh.
It was only later that it dawned on me. They don't usually like to tell you, but I insisted.
You mean you went to a DNA bank?
Yes. But she wasn't quite as random as her name suggests, because, of course, you were the only Homo sapiens donor in the galaxy.
Yes. Well, it was how I could afford the seat upgrades. Some of those flights are very long, you know.
You were quite a frequent flyer, weren't you?
But when? How?
How old? Well, in my timeline, it's about 10 years since I had her, but she's obviously quite a lot older than that. I spend my life going backwards and forwards in time, you see. The job. I used to put her into daycare time zones, but you drop them off in the morning and you've simply no idea how old they'll be when you pick them up in the evening. I left her at one place for an hour, and when I came back, she'd passed puberty.
Awkward.
Isn't she? I've done all I can. It's over to you. I've got a war to go and cover. Nice to see you, Arthur. Goodbye, darling. Love you.
You're just leaving me?
Mustache, deadline.
Trillian, for goodness sake, I'm all for sharing a load, but...
Just dump me here, in this stinking peasant hole.
But
You're supposed to be my father. This is complete pants.
There's no point in pretending this isn't hopeless.
Don't tell me you love me.
What?
Don't start that positive parenting in a practically demented universe crap.
Well,
I've had it with the whole part-time parent on a guilt trip thing.
Look, I don't love you. I'm sorry, I don't even know you yet. But your name really is Random, is it?
Random frequent flyer dent.
Oh, belt.
Despite the Vogons' reputation for bureaucratic zeal, over-reliance on paperwork and sheer bloody-minded pedantry, the Hitchhiker's
Guide to the Galaxy Pro. Soon to be available. Contact your local Infinitum Enterprises stockist to pre-order, quoting the priority code TPV.
to the Galaxy points out that they're not above a little bribery and a lot of corruption, in the same way that the sea is not above the clouds, and certainly not averse to the odd covert skullduggery either. When a Vogon prostetnic captain in command of one of its constructor fleets hears the words integrity or moral rectitude, he reaches for his dictionary. And when he hears the chink of ready money in large quantities, he reaches for the rulebook and throws it away.
Coming up on ZZ9 plural Z Alpha surveillance coordinates, prosthetic Vogon Jelts.
Excellent. Heave to in stealth mode. Patch into the Griblon base monitoring circuits.
Yes, sir.
In seeking so implacably the destruction of the Earth to clear the site for a new interstellar bypass, prosthetic Vogon Jelts has moved somewhat above and beyond the call of his professional duty. Jelts' problem is that having destroyed a planet located in one of the galaxy's plural zones, the Earth has been replaced by an identical world. Identical in all respects, but for an absence of sentient marine life and the occasional duplication of one or two existing humans. One of these is Tricia Macmillan, in most respects a doppelganger of Arthur Dent's friend Trillian, the exceptions being her accent, the colour of her hair, her lack of a daughter, and the fact that she did not leave the Earth after meeting Zaphod Beeblebrox at a party. However, she has now managed to be abducted by aliens, in a nice way, and is currently visiting the remote world of Rupert, recently discovered 10th planet in Earth's solar system, and new home of the stranded and media-hungry Grebulons.
Exactly a paradise planet, is it?
Rupert is far from the star that warms your Earth, but it is an excellent location for monitoring.
Ah, Miss Macmillan and wife. I hope you enjoyed the tour of our base. Now you are our guest, we must entertain you lavishly.
Get the dip.
I don't know what sort of food.
Fast burger and fries. Nothing but the best here. Have a nugget.
Confused. You have all this technology far beyond us, but your quarters are furnished with plastic-covered sofas,
yes.
imitation coal fires,
Ooh, lovely touch.
lava lamps. Where did you get this?
Ah, by mail order. Here's a delivery.
They sent it by post?
No, not here. No. We have arranged a special box number in New Hampshire. We make regular pickup visits.
How do you pay for these things?
Ah, credit card.
My flexible friend.
But how do you get them, the kids' menu specials?
Very easy, Miss Macmillan. We stand in line. We do!
After we've eaten, do you mind if I videotape an interview with you?
Well, of course not, Miss Macmillan. No, we have nothing to hide here. Nothing! Look! Open the box. Take the money.
Oh, nothing to hide. Oh, Helmsman?
Yes, sir?
My face aches strangely. What's wrong with it?
You're smiling, sir.
You lie! You lie like a Dentrassi food taster!
Oh!
All the same, I do feel strangely amused. Yes. I'm moved to write a poem about irony. Let's see. Oh, globbit of dribble oozing from the upturned corner of my mouth. You look to me like you should be the thing that droppeth from the cloud. A tiny bit of thee is stuck upon my lip. A little more is up my nose. Some has adhered to my hip. My eyes are open and glassy. My snot is thick and green. But from my ears something obscene appears, and I think it might be me.
According to the writings of old Thrashbarg, the planet Lamuella was found fully formed in the navel of a giant earwig at 4:30 one Vroonday afternoon. And although any seasoned galactic traveller with basic passes in physics and geography might have fairly serious doubts about this, it was rather a waste of time trying to argue with old Thrashbarg, as he would invoke the will of Almighty Bob, and that would be an end to the matter. Undeniably, however, on Lamuella the days were just a little over 25 hours long, which for an Earthman basically meant an extra hour in bed every single day. And, of course, having regularly to reset his watch, which Arthur Dent rather enjoyed doing. He also felt at home with a number of suns and moons which Lamuella had, one of each, and with the fact that the planet orbited its single sun every 300 days. A good number because it meant the year didn't drag by. Well, it didn't used to.
Random. Someone's been using my carving knife to dig up stones to throw at the picker-birds, and I think I know who it is because I watched them doing it.
You can buy another knife.
They don't sell them in bulk here. This is a subsistence economy.
It's only a knife.
Look, not content with being surly, bad-tempered, wanting to go and play in the Paleozoic era, not seeing why we have to have the gravity on the whole time, and shouting at the sun to stop following you, now you ruin my carving knife, and I don't even know if they had a Paleozoic era on this planet.
I hate it. I want to leave. They're all stupid here.
No, they're not. You refuse to acclimatise. Your mother shouldn't have let you have that sub-ether TV implanted in your wrist. The news alone is making you hyperactive.
That's because news is happening everywhere but here. And my mother dumps me here to go off and report on some war which didn't happen.
It's not her fault. The ship that was sent to fight it never arrived.
And has she come back to fetch me? No. All I have for fun is the vid channels.
Yes, well, you must stop showing those to the villagers. Huge spaceships crashing into each other may be amusing to you, but not to them. These people only ever saw one spaceship crash, and it was so frightening and shocking that they don't realise it's entertainment. It certainly wasn't for me.
What's this?
That's my watch.
I don't get it.
My watch. It's to tell the time. Where did you find it?
You left it by the waterfall after your shower. I know what it's meant to do, but you keep on fiddling with it, and it still doesn't tell the right time or even anything like it. My sub-ether wristband can.
Allowing for orbital momentum and star location, the Lamuella time, sponsored by Acutentacle, is getting on for about 4:30, precisely.
Your watch doesn't do any of this precisely. Why do you keep it?
Sentiment, really. I was given it on my 22nd birthday by my godfather. He was probably feeling guilty that he'd forgotten every birthday I'd had up till then. He'd even forgotten my name. Look at the back.
To Albert on his 21st birthday.
He got the date wrong, too.
Ooh, what's that noise?
Ticking. The mechanism that drives the watch. It's called clockwork.
It's all hardware.
Yes, it is.
Could have looked after it better.
That watch has survived stuff in the last few years which falls well outside the warranty, which presumably limited its guaranteed accuracy to the Earth, providing the day was 24 hours long and the planet didn't get too demolished by Vogons, which it did, utterly, and which is why I'm here. And that reminds me. Random, I forbid you to marry a Vogon.
You what?
Nothing. Just fulfilling a promise I made to myself a long time ago.
At least you were born somewhere with a name. Do you know where I was born?
No.
I was born in a spaceship that was going from somewhere to somewhere else, which only turned out to be another somewhere that my mother had to get to somewhere else again from.
Yes, that would make it hard.
It makes you feel you're always supposed to be somewhere else. Always in the wrong place. Add to that the fact that we were travelling through time as well, and I was not only always feeling I was in the wrong place, but at the wrong time. I don't ever fit.
You can fit if you want.
What? Here? In the worst place she ever dumped me. With the father who gave me this precious and magical burden of life in return for a seat upgrade.
Sandwich maker! Sandwich maker! Bob has sent us another sign!
What? Has Kurt caught another two-headed fish that's really two fish cut in half and sewn together badly?
Quiet, wench, or Bob will cast you into the outer darkness.
Fine by me. I was born there.
Sandwich maker, a silver chariot descended this morning into the Anhondo foothills, and a creature of metal came out. He gave unto Drimple this sacrificial gift in return for a thumbprint and a scrape of skin from the nape of his neck.
Express delivery by robot drone.
Ooh, let me see!
It is a sign. The perfectly normal beasts are about to return.
The waybill says it's from Antwerp City on Sacropilia Hensha. That's where they have a year-round carnival. Let's open it.
Calm yourself, Sandwich Maker's daughter. Let your mind dwell on the ineffable mystery of the giant earwig.
There is no giant earwig, you stupid, smelly old fart.
Oh, preserve me. I shall intercede for you with the Almighty. Oh, ineffable.
You shouldn't upset him. Do you know the number of spaceship crashes he's had to start incorporating into his holy stories to keep the villagers interested?
Let's open the package.
No.
Why not?
It's not addressed to me.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. It's addressed to Ford Prefect, care of me.
Ford Prefect? Is he the one who...
Yes.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. Something very worrying, though.
How do you know?
It always is when Ford Prefect's involved.
Well, that's ridiculous.
No, you don't understand. It's like me trying to explain the watch. It ticks, but that's about all you can say for it so far from Earth.
And you don't understand there's somewhere this watch belongs, where it works, where it fits.
Random.
Forget it! You go back and fit in with your stupid sandwiches. I'll go and live in the forest with the other ghosts.
Sandwich maker, the forest is not safe after dark.
I'll get her back. Look after that package, would you?
Of course, of course.
What package?
Hello? Who's that? It's just space liner wreckage. Don't be such a wuss. Ah! Out of the way, squirrel! Shoo! What? You want me to take it? Okay. A mouldy paper napkin. Just what I needed. And you want me to drink rainwater out of your acorn? Curiouser and curiouser.
You ain't going no further, bitch!
What? Who?
Only Zoc wasn't gonna save you now!
Don't shoot! What the?
This program is brought to you by
Zarquan, the ghost.
Glow in the dark, bright as the sun, clean a dance for everyone.
Now with vibrating nanofoam.
The ship's onboard hologram system still working.
Random! Random! Random!
For a long period of time, the Hitchhiker's Guide has reported the speculation and controversy about where the so-called missing matter of the universe has gone. Throughout the galaxy, the science departments of major universities continue to acquire elaborate equipment to probe the hearts of distant galaxies, only to discover, when the missing matter is eventually located, that it is, in fact, all the stuff which the equipment is packed in. There is much missing matter in the package which Random has brought into her cave in the Hondo Mountains. Little squashy, round white pellets which she is discarding for as yet unborn generations of physicists to track down and discover all over again.
All that packaging for a stupid dinner plate? What's the point? You're not a dinner plate. You're not a black picker bird either.
Excuse me, I just have to calibrate myself. Can you hear me when I say this?
Is that you talking, origami bird?
Good. And can you hear me when I say this?
Of course I can. What do you want?
Obviously not. Good. Well, your hearing range tops out at 16 kilohertz. So, is this comfortable for you? No harmonics screeching in the upper register? Good. I can use those as data channels. Now, how many of me can you see?
One.
Good.
What are you?
We'll come to that in a minute. Just how many of me now, please?
Oh, for Zark's sake! Thousands! Mirrored into infinity!
I see. Still infinite in extent, but at least we're homing in on the right dimensional matrix. Good. No, the answer is an orange and 2 lemons.
Lemons?
If I have 3 lemons and 3 oranges, and I lose 2 oranges and a lemon, what do I have left?
Huh?
So you think that time flows that way, do you? Interesting.
Whatever.
Well, I can tell you that in your universe you move freely in 3 dimensions that you call space. You move in a straight line in a 4th, which you call time, and stay rooted to one place in a 5th, which is the first fundamental of probability. After that it gets complicated. And there's all sorts of stuff going on in dimensions 13 to 22 that you really wouldn't want to know about.
How the hell do you know?
I am the guide. In your universe, I am your guide. In fact, I inhabit what is technically known as the whole sort of general mishmash. Come outside, and I'll show you.
In the rain?
Precisely. What can you see?
Water falling through the bloody air. That's what rain does. Anything else you want to know, or can I go home?
You want to go home?
I haven't got a home.
Look into the rain.
I'm looking into the rain. What else is there to look at?
In the water, what shapes do you see?
Random! My father.
Random!
Looking for me in the rain.
Random!
Okay, so you can project images into the rain of things happening elsewhere. Well, what's that prove?
Only that it's no more there or not there than the rain was. It's all just images in the mishmash. Here's another one for you.
More fries? A Pop-Tart?
Actually, that cheeseburgers really filled me up.
My mother?
No.
I know my mother when I see her.
It is not.
Well, her hair's different, but...
That person is part of the extent of your mother on the probability axis.
Do what?
Space, time, and probability all have axes along which it is possible to move. You and your father's lives are a sum of the inherently changing probabilities your travels have exposed you to.
Oh, that's tosh.
Ah, you see the inconsistencies, but not the rule that they prove. You said you wanted to go home. Would you like to see your home?
See it? Hello? It was destroyed.
No. It is discontinuous along the probability axis. Look.
The Earth. Lots of Earths. Like a string of beads. With gaps. What was that?
The probability axis of a discontinuously probable object. The world of your origin lies on a fault line in the landscape of probability, which means that at certain coordinates, the whole of it simply ceases to exist. Typical of all things that lie within the plural sectors. Want to go and see for yourself?
To Earth? Is that possible?
Because of the filters through which you perceive it, your universe is vast to you. Vast in time, vast in space. But I was built with no filters at all, which means I perceive the mishmash which contains all possible universes, but which itself has no size at all. For me, anything is possible. I am omniscient and omnipotent, extremely vain, and what is more, I come in a handy self-carrying leatherette wallet.
Is this true?
Not necessarily.
Are you winding me up?
As I warned you, anything is possible.
Okay, let's go to Earth. Let's go to Earth. Where it exists on its,
probability axis.
Where it hasn't been blown up. So you're the guide. How do we get a lift?
Reverse engineering. To me, the flow of time is irrelevant. You decide what you want. I then merely ensure that it has already happened.
Okay. I want a ship to take me to Earth.
Will this one do? The brief was a little vague.
An RW6! How did an RW6? I've always wanted...
I know.
Uh-oh.
You have a stone you keep in your pocket for emergencies. Use it.
Yes, of course. Come on, bird.
Random! Is that... Ow! Ow! What the... Ford?
Arthur, you're standing on my head.
Events that draw themselves to a conclusion across multidimensional levels will draw themselves to a conclusion. Closure will be final and irrevocable. And I am your guide. And in the last ever episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, what happens is inevitably what must happen. Let me guide you. All is for the best in the best of all possible worlds, even if it does not have much time left.
In that episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, William Franklin was the book and Rula Lenska was the voice of the bird. Simon Jones played Arthur Dent, Geoffrey McGivern, Ford Prefect, Susan Sheridan, Trillian, Sandra Dickinson, Tricia McMillan, and Sam Bayar was Random. Griff Rhys-Jones played Old Thrashbug, Roger Gregg, Strinder, Andy Taylor, the Grebulon leader, Lorelei King, the patient, and Michael Fenton-Stevens, the Grebulon lieutenant. Andrew Seacombe was Colin the robot, Toby Longworth, Prostetnik Vogon Jeltz, and Brian Cobby was the speaking clock. The announcer was John Marsh, the surround mix was by Paul Dealey, and additional effects by Ken Humphrey and Paul Weir. The script editor was John Langdon, and the music was by Paul Wicks-Wiggins. The production manager was Joe Wheeler, and the production assistant was Susie Matthews. The programme was adapted, directed and co-produced by Dirk Maggs. The producers were Helen Chatwell and Bruce Hyman, and it was an above-the-title production for BBC Radio 4. Listen to the bird and let it guide you.
That was the second to the last episode from the Quintessential Phase of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, entitled Fit the 25th. Here's the final episode entitled Fit the 26th.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Quintessential Phase.
According to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, there are rules that determine the reaction of most life forms to emerging technologies. 1. Anything that is in your world when you're born is normal and ordinary and is just a natural part of the way things work. 2. Anything that's invented in the first third of your lifespan is new and exciting and revolutionary, and you can probably get a career in it. 3. Anything invented once you are middle-aged is against the natural order of things. The guide goes on to say, goes on.
Please wait. This entry is being updated over the sub-Ethernet. The system will be down for a measurable period.
Go away! I've been pestered by squirrels all night. They keep on trying to give me magazines and face wipes.
Arthur, is this anywhere near where your ship crashed?
Yes.
Well, it happens. Ship's cabin robots get destroyed. The cyberminds that control them survive and infest the local wildlife. Can turn a whole ecosystem into some kind of helpless service industry, handing out hot towels and drinks to passers-by. By the way, who was that young woman who cracked me over the head and stole my spaceship?
My daughter.
Beg your pardon?
My daughter, Ford.
Is there a mother involved?
Trillian.
Trillian? She told me once she had a kid, but I didn't think...
No. I was financing my travel with donations to sperm banks.
And she made an early withdrawal.
I was hoping it might become a standing order. Ford, what are you doing on Lamuella?
Phew, long story. I was coming to pick up a parcel I'd sent to myself, care of you. It's something unimaginably dangerous.
So you sent it to me?
You're the one person I could rely on to be absolutely boring and not open it. Except that your daughter's got it now.
Got what?
The new guide, the bird. She's made off with it and with my ship. And when I say my ship, I mean an RW6.
A what?
An RW6, for Zark's sake. I've got this great new relationship going between my credit card and the guide's central computer, and she's stolen my ride. Oh, there must be some way off this sarking planet.
We could sit around and wait for a passing spacecraft, I suppose.
Oh, yes, and how many spacecraft have visited this flea pit recently?
Well, mine came here. Well, crashed here a few years ago. Then Trillian, of course, and the parcel delivery, and you, and... Oh, you're right. That's it.
This is important, Arthur.
And my daughter's out there all alone in the galaxy.
Can we feel sorry for the galaxy later? It's the guide I'm worried about. It's been taken over, changed beyond all recognition.
Oh! I'm incoherent with excitement. Please tell me what fascinating bit of badger sputumly inconsequential trivia you'll assail me with next.
I leapt out of a high-rise window.
No chance of you doing it again?
I did. The first time I managed to save myself with the help of a security robot I reprogrammed, called Colin.
And having saved yourself very cleverly once, you very sensibly went and jumped again.
Naturally, and fell straight into the open cockpit of a passing jet town car whose pilot had inadvertently pushed the eject button instead of changing tracks on the stereo. Even I couldn't think that was particularly clever of me.
Oh, I don't know. I expect you probably sneaked into his jet car the previous night and set it to play the pilot's least favourite track or something.
No, I didn't. Though, coincidentally, somebody else did. And this is the nub. You could trace the chain of coincidences back. Turned out the new guide had done it. It's not an electronic book anymore. It's a bird.
What bird?
The one your daughter is rampaging through the cosmos with. Looks pretty, talks big, uses temporal reverse engineering the way Zaphod mixes gargle blasters. Arthur, nobody understands what's been unleashed here.
Oh. Would that explain the Earth?
What Earth?
A huge hologram projected onto the rain last night. The Earth, lots of Earths, like a string of sausages projected in the sky.
Sounds like it was explaining the infinitely multitudinous possibilities of your planet to your daughter. Blow up one, another pops into existence. Handy, but confusing.
Oh, I think I've got...
An idea?
A sandwich. You eat perfectly normal beast, don't you?
Not come across that one. When I found the bird, the Guide Mark II, it put on the most fantastic multi-dimensional display I've ever seen. It then said that it would put its services at my disposal in my universe, whether I liked it or not. I said we'd see about that, and it said that we would. That's when I packed it up and sent it to you for safety.
Whose safety?
Then, what with one thing and another, my best option seemed to be jumping out of the window again, being fresh out of other options at the time. Did I mention the passing jet car? Anyway, whether I liked it or not, the Guide was now working for me. And if you've got the Guide, you think that you're the one it's working for. Any more sandwiches?
Have my crust. But now, my daughter has the bird, the Guide.
She's the next one in the chain who'll think that everything is going fabulously for her. Until she's done, whatever it is, then it'll all be up for her, too. The new Guide uses unfiltered perception. Do you know what that means?
Me? I've been making sandwiches, for Bob's sake.
Unfiltered... Who's Bob?
Never mind.
Okay, the bird, the new Guide, perceives everything. We don't. And because it perceives every possible universe, the bird is present in every possible universe, existing in total perspective. So they only have to make one of it for everybody to have one. Yes?
Ish.
With unfiltered perception, any move it makes has the power of a virus. It propagates across distance, time, and a million other dimensions, which means that somewhere there is one key instruction. But where's the final application? You know what this means, Arthur?
Sorry, I nodded off for a moment.
Think about this. You know who I saw at the Guide offices? Vogons. The Vogons are behind this.
Good grief. Of course.
Oh, good. I've said a word you understand at last. But do you know who I found trapped inside their virtual accounting software?
That noise!
The thunder.
It isn't thunder. It's the spring migration of the perfectly normal beasts. It started early.
What are these animals you keep on about?
Our ticket off the planet.
What?
Cup of tea, Miss Macmillan.
What's it say on the door?
Do not disturb.
No, below that.
Go away.
Thank you.
Is there a problem? I'm not with you.
You are. That's the problem.
Yes, Miss Macmillan.
Thank you.
This is Tricia Macmillan reporting from the surface of the planet Rupert.
No. The stuff in the ship going there first.
Rupert. In something like 7 of your Earth hours.
Which means you must have some form of propulsion unknown to us on Earth.
Oh, you mean is it a warp drive or something like that? You'd have to ask our flight engineer, Mr. Scott.
Scotty. Which one is he?
We don't know. We've all lost our minds, you see.
Who's gonna believe this?
This is Rupert, the home of the Grebulons. It may look to you, the viewer, like a bunch of slightly thin and discolored people sitting around watching televisions that show reruns of MASH and the Rockford Files.
I'll be laughed out of the business.
This is clearly alien technology on a dramatic scale. Huge gray buildings under the dark canopy of a clear pressure dome.
Could be a studio set from just about any low-budget science fiction movie.
And here comes the Grebulon leader.
Looking like some guy in costume and makeup standing in front of a cheap cardboard set.
Hello?
Leader.
Miss Macmillan. I cannot tell you how much I enjoy your shows on TV. I am your greatest fan. I'm so glad you have been able to visit us on Rupert and help us triangulate our astrological position. Here is the book I want you to use. Book.
You and Your Planets by Gail Andrews.
There's nothing of any use here at all. Oh, my God. I left astronomical research because I couldn't prove that a glamorous alien with 2 heads once tried to pick me up at a party. I switched careers to TV, and now I dream up an alien race of people stuck on a remote outpost of our solar system, filling their cultural vacuum with our media junk. It's happened again. I have no recollection of faking any of this, but if I ever show this to anybody, I'll be a laughingstock. Wait a minute. What are those? What is it?
Miss Macmillan, it's an alien spaceship.
What?
An alien spaceship in Regent's Park. Some girl with a funny-looking bird keeps asking for you.
For me?
There's a taxi outside with a camera crew.
Where's my bag? Oh, never mind. No, wait, look. That freeze frame, do those buildings look like huge gun turrets to you?
Yes. What is it? The Sci-Fi Channel?
Never mind. Just keep the door locked.
Many, many light years from anywhere lies the abandoned planet of Vogsphere. Somewhere on its fetid, fog-bound mudbanks stands, surrounded by the broken and empty carapaces of its last few jeweled scuttling crabs, a stone monument which marks the place where it is thought the species Vogon blurtus first arose. On the monument is carved an arrow which points away into the fog, under which are inscribed the words, "The buck stops there." There, in this instance, is the flagship of Prostetnik Vogon Jeltz's constructor fleet.
People of Svatia are there. This is Prostetnik Vogon Jeltz of the Intergalactic Hyperspace Planning Council. The plans for development of the outlying regions of the galaxy...
The captain's job all comes down, in essence, to one instruction.
Regrettably, your planet is one of those scheduled for demolition. Oh, I love my job. Shall I just press the button?
No, not that button, sir. That's the blow us up button.
Let's avoid that.
He is to put a tick in a box on a checklist when he has carried it out.
Particle cannon!
Particle cannon. Aye, sir. Make it so.
He has carried out the instruction once before, but a number of troublesome circumstances have prevented him from putting the tick in the box. One of them is the plural nature of this galactic sector, where anything you demolish keeps on reappearing. That will soon be taken care of.
Back to the Earth.
Aye, sir.
Another problem has been the irritating and anarchic device called the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That is now well and truly taken care of.
All coming together just like Mother said.
And through temporal reverse engineering, its successor is the agency through which everything else will be taken care of, including a small group of people who continually refuse to be where they are supposed to be when they are supposed to be there. Particularly the two who are stranded on the planet Lamuella.
Wave the towel higher! Flick it! Careful, don't get run over!
This isn't working! We'll be killed if we try to jump onto a stampeding, perfectly normal beast. Well, you will!
Pardon?
Ford, have you ever heard of Stavromula Beta?
Don't think so. How do you spell it?
Oh, no. You remember I told you about Agrajag?
You mean the guy who was convinced you were getting him killed over and over again?
Yes. One of the places he claimed I'd got him killed is called Stavromula Beta. Someone tries to shoot me, it seems. I duck, and Agrajag, or one of his many reincarnations, gets hit. It seems that this has definitely happened at some point in time, so I suppose I can't get killed, at least until after I've ducked on Stavromula Beta.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't bet my life on stopping a 1.5-ton perfectly normal beast armed with nothing but a towel.
But they are a way out of here. They gallop up this plain, turn by the hills at the far end, and just disappear. And they return at the next migration.
Well, it certainly looks like it might be some kind of evidence of dimensional drift.
Which is what?
A multi-dimensional nexus intersecting this planet.
Which means we can ride our way out of here.
Exactly. But waving that towel around like a matador isn't going to do it. You've got to flick it more. You need more follow-through from the elbow.
What about you? You need more suppleness in the wrist.
You need more after flourish.
You need a bigger towel.
You need a pecker bird.
What? Hello, old Thrashbark.
To attract the attention of a perfectly normal beast, you need a pecker bird. Like this.
The bird he's holding. What is it?
A picker bird. Its eggs make rather a good omelette. The secret is whipping them lightly.
I don't want a zarking recipe. I just want to be sure it's a real bird and not a multi-dimensional cyber nightmare.
So, is it written that Bob shall once more take back unto himself the benediction of his once given sandwich maker?
He's balmy, isn't he?
He always talks like this. Ah, venerable Thrashbark. I'm afraid I'm going to have to be popping off now. But young Drimple, my apprentice, will be a fine sandwich maker in my stead.
Oh, sandwich maker from Bob.
Yes?
Life will be a very great deal less weird without you.
Do you know, I think that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
Old man, where do these beasts go?
To the domain of the king.
What king?
Come! Let us show the bird to the beasts. Then you will ride there.
I want to see Trillian Astra!
Now step away from the flying saucer, please, miss.
Come a step closer and I'll throw this rock at your head!
We can't locate a Trillian Astra.
I told you before! Her Earth name is Trisha McMillan. I know she's here!
Random.
Yes, little bird?
Say the word and I can make him go away. Forever.
No, don't!
Then I'm needed elsewhere.
Wait! No! Where did you go? Where's my bird? Keep away! All of you!
How's my hair, yeah? No shiny? How's that? Good. Turn over.
Recording, take one, no sleep.
Cue in 3, 2, 1. This is Trisha McMillan reporting from Regent's Park, where an astonishing sight has brought London to a standstill. I'm just moving up to the barriers to see if I can have a word with a teenage girl who has just arrived in a spaceship.
You?
Hello? Can I just ask, are you from Zaphod?
You can change your hair color and your accent and hide here, but you're still my mother!
What?
I don't think I've ever seen anything quite so stupid in my life.
Shh! They fascinate the beasts! Bob knows why. And once a perfectly normal beast is fascinated, it becomes docile. But not for long. Get on the beast. And both of you.
Yuck! How can something so delicious smell so rank?
You've obviously never met Eccentrica Golumbits.
No, sandwich maker! Go!
Hold tight, Arthur!
Can you see anything?
No!
Go! Ride that beast! Ride that perfectly normal beast to the domain of the king!
What king?
He just said the king!
I didn't know there was a the king!
Nor did I! Hold tight, for goodness sake!
Except, of course, for the king, and he obviously didn't mean him.
What king?
I'm only saying that if he didn't mean the king, I don't know what he means.
Look out! Here comes the end of the valley!
Are you sure we're doing the right thing?
No! But wherever these animals vanished to, we're about to find out!
Hold on! Hey! We did it! Oh, jump! Are you in one piece?
Where are we?
The domain of the king. Look.
The domain of the king, bar and grill. Not sure if that's irony or anticlimax.
Are you kidding? Look at these spaceships parked outside. The pink one. I'm buying that spaceship.
It's all chrome and fins.
That's class. I'll teach them to make me a restaurant critic.
What do you mean?
The old Dino charge card. Let's go run up some expenses.
What can I do for you, gents?
Couple of beers, a couple of bacon rolls, that pink thing outside, and whatever you're having yourself.
Not sure that pink thing's for sale.
Sure it is. How much you want?
It ain't mine to sell.
So whose?
Good-looking dude with the band. Dark hair, gold suit.
Wait here, Arthur. Keep the tab open.
New here, son?
Me? Just rode into town.
Yeah, nice weather for it.
Oh, I hadn't noticed.
Okay, it's cool. We got the pink thing.
He's selling it to you?
Giving it to us for free.
Jeepers.
You know, Arthur, it's at times like this that I feel that what the big guy says is right.
Which big guy?
The one at the mic. Let it all go is what he said. Take the ship. Take it with my blessing. Be good to him.
How many beers have you had?
But then you think of guys like Infinitum Enterprises and you think they are not going to get away with it. It is my sacred and holy duty to see those guys suffer.
Hey, Lamar. Switch on the stage lights, man.
You got it, King.
Hey, Arthur. How many singers does it take to change a light bulb?
1, 2. 1, 2.
Bartender, let me put something on the tab for the singer. I asked for a special request.
How much?
Well, I was thinking...
Is he all right?
Just needed to take the weight off his feet.
Ford, will that ship get us to Earth?
Sure will.
Oh, no. Lend me your guide.
Here.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Earth.
Earth. Mostly harmless.
It's there. The Earth is still there. That's where Random will be going. The bird was showing her the Earth in the rainstorm.
Quiet, Arthur. I paid to hear this song.
Our lovely world, so lovely, and everything so nice.
Ford, are you crying?
And everyone so happy.
Dust in my eye.
Beneath the ink black.
You have to go.
Not till I've reviewed the restaurant.
Write a review of this place?
Filing the review validates the expenses claim. Okay, the beer is good and cold, local wildlife nicely eccentric. The bar singer is, without exaggeration, the best in the known universe. And that's about it. Subetha send. Doesn't need much, just a validation. And this bill is going to need some validating.
How much did you tip the singer?
More money than the Colonel made for him in an entire career of doing rubbish movies and casino gigs. Just for doing what he does best, singing in a bar. And he negotiated it himself. With any luck, this is a good moment for him and a very bad one for Infinidim Enterprises.
You love those flowers so.
We're out of here. Thanks, El.
Hey, take it easy for me. Y'all come back now.
Let's flash the plastic and see what that pink thing can do.
You summoned us, Captain Picard? Yes, Lieutenant Kojak. I am troubled. Huh? Our mission was a watching brief, but I'm bored with monitoring the Earth, to be honest. I am bored with Cagney and Lacey. I am bored with the Tribbles episode of classic Star Trek. I am bored with not knowing who I am and having to pick a new name out of an old TV guide every morning.
At least now we can work out our astrological charts. That gives us work to do, yes? And a plan to follow?
But all the other equipment with us must have some purpose. If only we hadn't lost our minds when the meteorite wiped out our databanks. We need a purpose. And the TV and the PlayStation are not enough.
Has something happened?
Yes. Miss Macmillan helped us recalculate the movement of the planets. And now my stars foretell that I am about to have a very bad month if I don't take positive action. Today. Because today Earth is starting to rise into Capricorn. And as a classic Taurus, this is indeed ominous for me.
So you're going to take positive action?
I have decided to investigate the astrological potential of our gun turrets.
Gun turrets?
Have Huggy Bear and the two Ronnies link the targeting circuits to the astrology computer tracking Earth?
Aye, Captain.
It is as you wished, Prostetnik Vogon Jeltz.
Reverse temporal engineering at its finest, little bird. You have served us very well, and very often. Are the displaced persons all on Earth?
They will be reunited within minutes. And the Grebulons are arming their multidimensional disruptors.
You have fulfilled your function. And I can shortly put a tick on my checklist without further outlay of billable resources. Now, show me the Earths. All of them. I want to see this for myself. Ah, yes. The blue and green watery tube of Earth in all its dimensions.
Closing brackets, parsing clauses, endifs, halting repeat loops, calling recursive functions. Preparing to force quit. Engaging total perspective vortex.
A second spacecraft, this time pink, was reported to have landed on Portland Place in central London. Its two human occupants booked rooms at and subsequently bought the Langham Hilton Hotel. Shortly afterwards, a smaller, single-person craft bearing a lone female occupant landed without incident in the Embankment Gardens. Meanwhile, scientists have reported a surge of energy.
How did you buy London Zoo?
Room service. We had a room and I wanted service. All the animals that can be safely returned to the wild are going to be released. They promised on reception to set up some good teams of people to monitor their progress. Apparently, their concierge can get you anything.
And all on a Hitchhiker's Guide dino charge card?
Yes. I suppose I should be worried that it works on this planet. Foie gras?
No thanks. I always feel bad about foie gras. A bit cruel to the geese.
Sod the geese. You can't care about every damn thing. Next left, driver.
You know where this club is?
Stavros? Well, I've been to his original club in New York. I knew he was opening one here. When your daughter stopped chucking rocks at Trillion and demanded to be taken clubbing, it was pretty easy to find out which one she'd be taken to.
But it's not Trillion, is it? It's Trisha Macmillan.
We're here, gents. Number 42.
Keep the change. Come on, Arthur. Family reunion. Down here.
Reminds me of the Starship Bistro math.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
Oh, can I squeeze past?
I thought I told you not to come here.
What?
Not you, him.
Me? But I'm sorry?
I think I must have mistaken you for someone else.
Ford, he's still staring at me.
Now what?
What did you say?
I said now what?
I'm trying desperately to remember which drug I've just taken. It must be one of those, which means you can't remember.
Try the men's room.
Yes.
Come on, Arthur.
I don't like places like this, Ford. For all of my dreams of Earth and home, I miss my hut on Lamuella and my knives and my sandwiches. I even miss old Thrash Park.
Arthur? Arthur?
Trillian? Trisha?
Both, it seems.
Somebody please tell me what's going on and who that woman is.
All of you! Stop!
Arthur, the gun your daughter is holding was in the ship she stole from me. It's a Wabanata 3, very dangerous. Let's just everybody stay calm and find out what's the matter.
I thought I would fit here on the world that made me. But it turns out that even my mother doesn't know who I am.
Random, I'm here. All right, joke over. Where's the hidden camera?
Shut up! You abandoned me!
Random, it's very important that you listen to me. We must leave. We must all leave now.
What are you talking about? We're always leaving!
This is not your home. You don't have one. We none of us have. The war I left you to report on, the missing ship that didn't turn up, is here, in this solar system. And its crew are lost and frightened and about to do something very misguided because they also have no home. We've got to go.
It's all right, Trillian. If I'm here, we're safe. Nothing can happen to me till I go to Stavromila Beta, okay?
Arthur, keep talking. That man who recognized you on the stairs, I think he's going for the gun.
What are you saying?
Let's all just relax.
I'll take that.
No! Wait!
Random,
No!
Arthur, duck!
Are you all right?
You...
What?
I'm sorry! I didn't mean to...
It was an accident.
Arthur, we need to leave now.
We're safe, Trillian. There's time to sort out this mess.
Really? Have you looked at the name of this club?
It's Stavros Club, isn't it?
Here. Look at the menu cover.
Trillian, how can you think of food at a... Oh, my God.
The landlord's name is Stavro Mula. His first club in New York was named Alpha. This is his second club.
Stavro Mula Beta.
Oh, that's good. Very good.
Well, thank Bob that's over.
Who's Bob?
Please wait. This entry is being updated over the sub-Ethernet. Our system will be down for measure.
The babelfish is small, yellow, bleach-like, and probably the oddest thing in the universe. It feeds on brainwave energy, absorbing conscious frequencies and nerve signals picked up from the speech centers of the brain. The practical upshot of which is that if you stick one in your ear, you instantly understand anything said to you in any form of language.
Another ability evolved by the babelfish is its tactic for self-preservation. Only one other aquatic creature in the universe has developed the babelfish's capacity for continuous probability transference in the picosecond before unavoidable destruction. Thus, as Earth's plural zone folds itself away like a card table after a particularly energetic hand of snap, the babelfishes, their hosts, and any cetaceans in the vicinity simultaneously flick into existence in any alternative realities. In the case of Arthur Dent, this leads to several probabilities. One has been in existence for many years, and in the master bathroom aboard the Heart of Gold...
Oh, last. Eddie! Eddie!
Hey there, monkey in the shower! Water too hot? Too cold? You'd prefer ass's milk, maybe?
I've run out of shampoo. Can you ask Lintella to bring some in?
Pleased to be of service.
You wanted shampoo, Arthur?
Gosh, thanks, Lintella. That was quick.
Would you like us to scrub your back?
Who's us?
Well, there are now over 800,000 million Lintilla clones in the Brantisfogan Escort Agency.
Good grief.
And I thought I'd invite a few of my sisters aboard.
Pleased to be of service.
This is nice. Two shaping mirrors.
Wow. Eddie, more hot water! Quick!
No problemo, Capitano!
Another Arthur pops up in another time, when yet another Earth hung like a blue opal in this corner of the galaxy.
Come off it, Mr. Dent. You can't win, you know. There's no point in lying in the path of progress.
I've gone off the idea of progress. It's overrated.
But you must realise you can't lie in the path of the bulldozers indefinitely.
I'm game. We'll see who rusts first. Won't we, Fenchurch?
Get stuffed, Prosser. This is our cottage.
But perhaps the alternative that best suits the Babel fishes and their hosts is the convivial safety of a location and a time far, far removed from any uncertainty, improbability, or sobriety. An infinite loop of bistro-mathics where dinner guests wait patiently for each other to turn up.
Welcome, welcome one and all to Millaway's, the restaurant at the end of the universe. I'm Max Quarterpleen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome the disciples of the Great Green Arc of Seizure. Are you in tonight? Yes, they are. Do we have with us the minor deities from the halls of Asgard?
Ford, last question, I promise. But if the Babelfish is so versatile, how come it's never saved my life, our lives, before?
You didn't die before.
So what happened to us? How were we saved?
Well, our scrape with death took place in a plural zone, where organic life forms in the vicinity of a Babelfish share its kinetic bridge to all available dimensions and are transported to. The only other life forms who can make the jump are dolphins. Haven't you noticed what's outside the restaurant for miles and miles in every direction?
Thousands of interlinked blue lagoons glowing under the stars.
Filled with dolphins at play.
The dolphins learned how to jump dimensions from the Babelfish. In return, the Babelfish learned a thing or two about where to have a good time from the dolphins. Quid pro quo. Pass that old Jack Spirit, Zaphod.
One for you, Ford baby. Two for me.
Here's to the look on Trillian's face when she merged with Trisha.
It was weird. One minute she was there, we were there. The next, it felt like we were two drops of water joining into one.
I like you with blonde hair, mind.
Come on, monkey man. Hurry up with that menu. I'm hungrier than a bug bladder beast in a weight loss clinic.
You'll have to wait. Random's having a problem with the dish of the day.
Oh, please eat me. Might be delicious with pepper sauce.
Oh, I want the veggie option.
Waitress, can you bring over a talking cauliflower?
Yes, sir, I will. Oh, is there a Mr. Beeblebrox on this table?
Good grief.
Dad? What is it?
Fenchurch.
Arthur! Hi! I wondered when you'd turn up. Oh, a phone call for you, Mr. Beeblebrox. Where did you go?
I searched for months.
I thought I'd wait for you.
Well, how did you know I'd come back?
Well, this seemed as good a place as any.
Yes, but here? It's amazing.
I know.
Why am I late?
Yep.
This is the car park. You ordered a babe wash for your ship. Due to staff shortages, I am your babe.
Marvin! I thought you were dead.
Seems I was still under warranty. Sorry to disappoint you. Sorrier than you can possibly imagine.
You're still parking cars here?
Spend a few thousand million years in a job and eventually you get promoted. I have my own bucket now. Finally, I am somebody.
Okay, Metal Man. How about giving the heart of gold a hot wax with full valet?
That depends on whether or not I can find my frilly apron. With my luck, I probably can.
Waiter, a bottle of champagne to the beautiful lady on table 42. With my compliments.
Oh, is that Thor? Cwee! Thor!
She could argue astrophysics with Einstein, but a set of biceps and a big hammer can instantly reduce her IQ to single numbers.
And we have with us here tonight a party of believers from the Church of the Second Coming of the great prophet Zarquan. And boy, are we in luck tonight. Looky, 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 he's here in person. A big hand, please, for the great prophet Zarquan!
Oh, how very kind, yes. At last an opportunity to say a few words on my own behalf to all who have taken my name in vain.
Just a moment, please.
Yes?
Prophet Zarquan, you are the last on my list. You are a tiresome, goggle-eyed pillock.
A wowbagger, the infinitely prolonged.
Yes?
You are a whinging sack of parrot droppings.
and no longer immortal.
Ladies and gentlemen, and Norse gods, as everything draws to a close yet again, let's all join together in the time-honored way.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance...
In that episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, Peter Jones and William Franklin were the book, and Rula Lenska was the voice of the bird. Simon Jones played Arthur Dent, Geoffrey McGivern, Ford Prefect, Mark Wing Davey, Zaphod Beeblebrox, Susan Sheridan, Trillian, Sandra Dickinson was Tricia Macmillan, Sam Bayar, Random, and Stephen Moore was Marvin. Griff Rhys-Jones was Old Thrashbug, Roger Gregg played the bartender, Michael Kuehl, the Vogon helmsman, Dominic Hawksley, Thor, Andy Taylor, Grebulon leader, and Michael Fenton Stevens was the Grebulon lieutenant. Philip Pope was Elvis, Tom Maggs, the runner, Bruce Hyman, Prosser, and Toby Longworth was Prostechnik Vogon Jeltz. Neil Sleet played the newsreader, Roy Hudd was Max Quardlepleen, and Agra Jag was Douglas Adams. The announcer was John Marsh, the surround mix was by Paul Dealey, and additional effects by Ken Humphrey and Paul Weir. The script editor was John Langdon, and the music was by Paul Wickens. The production manager was Joe Wheeler, and the production assistant was Susie Matthews. The programme was adapted, directed and co-produced by Dirk Maggs, and the producers were Helen Chatwell and Bruce Hyman. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was an above-the-title production for BBC Radio 4, and it is affectionately dedicated to its author. Now here's a public information message. The large yellow Vogon ships hanging overhead are an hallucination. Do not be alarmed. There is nothing to worry about. Just pour yourself several large drinks and open a packet of peanuts. You're going to need them.
Got 'em. Where's the list?
Here, sir.
Tick in the box. Good. Helmsman?
Aye, sir. Prostechnik Vogon Jeltz.
There you are. Set course for Eroticon 6. Time for a spot of shore leave with eccentric Galumbit. Before we blow her planet up.
Fenchurch, when do you get off work?
Just after the apocalypse.
Will you come flying with me?
Always.
That was the final episode from the Quintessential Phase of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's it for this hour. Stay tuned next hour when we will present the radio interview with Douglas Adams on the Hitchhiker's Guide from the BBC. Stay tuned.